All right, what's up? What's up? Happy Monday. Yeah, basketball is back. We got a lot to talk about today. A lot to get into today. I know Frank Martin is addressing the media right now. Yeah, a lot to get into. Let's see. Okay. All right, we're good. What's up? Happy Monday. I'm going to open up the phone lines here. 843-790-3377, guys. A lot to talk about on a Monday. Taking your questions, comments, calls as always. Got a lot to get into. Here. So let me open this up. Okay. Oh, all right. Phone lines are open. 843-790-3377. Of course, as always, here on a Monday, taking your questions, your comments, your calls, anything and everything in between, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks for the love, support. Obviously, the podcast dropping this morning, breaking down everything from the weekend, the game, the tweet storm that happened on Friday, which we talked about, obviously, on the Daily Crow. Coaching rumors that I've heard. Obviously, a great conversation as well with Vic Hampton. Really, really good stuff. We had Vic on over the summer. The conversation, obviously, a lot different this time, talking about everything that's going on right now, who he wants to see South Carolina hire as their next head football coach. A lot on a Monday. So, guys, appreciate you all tuning in. Again, taking all of your questions, comments, whatever it may be on a Monday. Let's get after it. As most of you probably know, this is one of my favorite weeks of the year, Georgia week. I hate Georgia, can't stand Georgia. But this is supposed to be rivalry week, Carolina Clemson week. So that's why you see I'm rocking the Cuck Clemson shirt. Also, of course, if you've all seen probably the sign, Luke, we need to get this going. That needs to be a thing. If I could, I would make a T-shirt. And you probably ask, why can't you? You're not supposed to make shirts with current players' names on them. NCAA, that's kind of a no-no, making money off their likeness or whatever. So hopefully at some point that would be something we could do, but not now. Anyways, but yeah, taking you guys' questions, comments, calls, everything else. Anthony Diller, has Doty been named the starter yet? Not officially, no. He has not officially been named the starter for Georgia yet. I would assume Bobo in the presser tomorrow is going to, of course, he's going to address it. I would hope he names him the starter tomorrow, though. Like, go ahead and get it out of the way. Establish, hey, this is going to be QB1 for. It's a given at this point. He's the quarterback that gives you the best chance to win, right? There's no question about that. So there's no need to put off this decision. I mean, again, Mike Bobo is going to do what he wants. All I know is if he trots Colin Hill back out there, the Gamecock fan base will probably mutiny. So, I mean, you can't play anybody but Luke Doty. You just have to. So, I would fully expect they are going to start Luke Doty. There's no question. So, again, guys, questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. Got a lot to talk about, obviously. I know the Daily Crow on Friday was probably one of the most entertaining and intense shows we've ever had here. So, I don't know if this Monday will top it. But, again, here on a Monday, I know the mood, if you listen to the podcast, you would think the mood for me today would be venting and would be disappointment and upset from the game. You lose to Missouri, obviously, Saturday night. But for you guys that listen to the podcast already, I mean, you can attest. There we go. For you guys listening to the podcast already, I was probably, to some of you, surprisingly very optimistic, very positive, very hopeful for what the future holds. It's just the combo of moving to a new head coach, playing a true freshman quarterback, it does wonders. So we'll go ahead and jump to the phone lines. Hey, Phil, what's up, man?
Hey, Chris, how you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Still feeling hopeful.
Yeah, for sure.
How about Luke, man?
Yeah, no, I loved it, man. It's just, you'd have to be blind to not see the difference. And, I talked about this on the podcast. That I sat really close Saturday night, like 9 rows up, closest I've ever sat for a game. And what was really cool is seeing the body language of guys on the sideline. Like, that's something you just don't notice normally, you know what I mean? And, you insert Luke in there, man. I mean, it sparked the fan base. I thought it sparked the whole team just looking at the guys on the sideline. I mean, I thought the guys played hard in the first half, sure. But, I mean, obviously, again, it was like boring. You couldn't get anything going offensively. And then it reminded me a lot of, like I said, when South Carolina inserted Steven Garcia in the lineup in like 2008. And you just saw the whole team kind of pick it up and get excited and fired up. And, I mean, I think I don't want to over exaggerate it, but I think just a quarterback change and getting a guy out that's exciting, it can do that for you. You know what I mean? So I thought you saw it provide a spark to the team. I mean, obviously, again, you'd have to be blind to not see the impact that Luke Doty had. I mean, there were at least 3 to 4 plays where with Colin Hill in there, it's 100% a sack. And with Luke Doty, it's an 8-yard gain, 10-yard gain, 15-yard gain. I mean, it's just that's the difference, man. I mean, that's the difference. So I know we all sit here on a Monday and wonder, well, what would have happened if Luke started or Luke came in the first half even. But no, I think, again, for the first time in a while, you feel hopeful maybe for South Carolina football, at least on that offensive side, that maybe you got a guy that can give you a spark, man. I mean, it was shades of Connor Shaw, was it not? I mean, it was shades of Connor Shaw. It's what it really felt like. So, and I'm not trying to put that type of pressure on him, but he plays that style. So he's got a lot to learn. It's going to be growing pains. I mean, he's a true freshman, and I hate that his first career start might come against Georgia, but, I mean, welcome to the SEC. We'll see what he can do. But I'm excited, man. I'm excited for Luke, and I thought it was great to see him get on the field. And, again, I appreciate everything Colin Hill's done, and, he's done the best he can do. But, I mean, there's only one guy that should be taking snaps under center, and that's Luke Doty. I think we can all agree. So,
yes, sir. He didn't light a spark. He lit a damn forest fire out there.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was crazy. I mean, you can ask people I was with. We were about to fall asleep in the first half. I mean, that's probably everybody watching the game too. I mean, just dead. I mean, you have 68 total yards of offense in the first half, and then Luke Doty has 59 yards rushing himself. So, I mean, what does that tell you? Yeah, no, it was crazy, man. Like I said, it lit a forest fire. I mean, it really did. It got you on the edge of your seat. And again, we've all just been clamoring for Gamecock football to just be fun to watch again. And that's what he did. I mean, that's what he made it. So, especially with this team, man, like there's only 2 games left, whatever. But, I mean, Shi Smith's probably out this week. Xavier Legette's out for the year, as Mike Bobo said. There's no doubt Luke Doty's the best option. Like, you have to play him. So, and I think he's the quarterback of the future. So,
yeah, exactly. I'd like to see a lot of running with Kevin Harris this upcoming week, and also with Doty. If he doesn't see a guy open, just take off, brother.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I mean, I thought that's kind of what you saw him do. I mean, again, it was crazy, man. It was shades of Connor Shaw. It really was. It really was shades of Connor Shaw. And, I'm sure that's something they'll work with. And this is why, obviously, we all hope and pray that, and he should. Connor will stay on staff because you have to think, man, how valuable is it going to be to have a guy like Connor Shaw mentor a guy like Luke Doty? I mean, he understands his exact game. He probably understands a lot of what Luke's thinking. I'm sure they're going to work with him a lot on, hey, don't get the happy feet too quick. Obviously, if you can pull it down and go. But because, that was Shaw's thing, right? When he was young, Spurrier used to complain he would run too fast. And I thought you saw him, especially as a senior in 13, develop. He really was a pocket passer that could run. I mean, that's really what he turned into. But so, I mean, but it's just going to be so valuable to have a guy like Connor Shaw help him in his development because, again, he knows exactly what he's thinking. They have the exact same skill set. I thought you saw Doty make some great throws on the run last night. And again, there were plays that not even just the runs where he got 8, 10, 15 yards. There were plays that he made throws on the run at the last second, about to get hit, and he completed the pass and it's a first down. And that's the difference. You know what I mean? That's the difference. So, again, I appreciate everything Colin Hill's done for Carolina football this year. I mean, he's done all he can do. And, the big thing is people are getting on me saying, are you ready to get off the Colin Hill hype train now? And my biggest point was a few weeks ago just saying he wasn't the main problem. But I've said since the beginning, I don't give a damn who plays quarterback. I just want to win football games. And I've said also that I think you need a dual threat quarterback to win at South Carolina, at least to win big. And you see why. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think it's a given. We all know who needs to be the starting quarterback. And, God, I don't know what could compel Mike Bobo to trot Colin Hill back out there. I would like to think nothing. But, so.
This is what it is. I mean, that's what got Will Muschamp fired.
Yeah.
And that's why Mike Bobo is, trotting the Hill out every single week up until the second half of this week is just stubbornness. And, Mike Bobo described Jesus, Doty's escapability and his scrambling as chaos. So obviously it's not Bobo's forte to run an offense, to have a guy that can run. But guess what? That's what's going to win a game.
Right. Well, especially on South Carolina, where, again, you don't have five-star offensive linemen blocking for you. You don't have 4 or 5 5-star wide receivers. You don't, and as much as I love Kevin Harris, you just don't have that talent around you. So you need a guy in the backfield back there that can make something out of nothing. And that's what he did. So, like I said, man, I woke up yesterday and come in today and just feel, for the first time in a while, man, hopeful. And I guess that's what a coaching change and a quarterback change can do. That's what it can provide a fan base. I know, again, I'm sure a lot of Carolina fans feel the same way. It's for the first time in a while you actually feel like, hey, maybe there's some light at the end of the tunnel. You know what I mean? You can see some positives. And, again, there's no moral victories. I mean, it sucks to lose to Mizzou. It was an ugly, sloppy game. But at least maybe there's something to be excited about when you cut the TV on Saturday. So, we'll see.
Absolutely. Final thing about the coaching search here, I just want to echo what I've been saying the entire time here is, if it comes down to 1 or 2 guys, I would rather have somebody that's already been in the building and understands the winning culture under Spurrier than somebody that has no ties to this university and who just comes here as, well, this is just going to be, well, this is my chance to go to an SEC school, but they don't love Carolina.
Right.
Point blank, period. We need a guy that understands this program, understands this school, understands the region, and wants to win and would love to be here for the next 10, 15, 20 years and is not going to jump somewhere else because the next best job is opening. Because guess what? This is a great job.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn what anybody says. We've got the facilities. We've got the fan base. They got the backing, with the financials here. I mean, what else would you possibly want? Now we just got to put it all together and win football games.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. And, I mean, what's kind of funny, man, is I'm way less picky than I think a lot of people would think I'd be about the coaching search. Like, again, if it's Napier or Beamer, I'm not really going to be upset at either one. I'll be happy and excited for either guy. I do agree with you. And I think culture fit is such a key proponent of this hire. And you heard Vic Hampton on the show today. He talked about it. And, he talked about Shane Beamer. Heck, he was there when Shane Beamer was there. And, talked about what he's like as a football coach. And listen, here's the thing. There isn't a Steve Spurrier out there. So no matter who Carolina hires, people are going to complain. They're going to bitch and moan, and it is what it is. That's what makes sports great, right? Not everybody's going to agree with the decision.
Yeah.
And I saw a stat. My good buddy Brad Crawford, he pointed out the stat of first-time head coaches in the SEC and their shortcomings and their failures and the records and blah 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 blah. Well, bro, throw the stats out the window when it comes to the South Carolina job. Because you know what the stats say for South Carolina? Just face the reality. The stats say South Carolina will never go back to Atlanta. The stats say South Carolina will never win the SEC or a national championship. So who really gives a damn what the stats say? I don't care. Like, if you think Beamer's the guy, then he's the guy. I don't give a damn. You don't go hire a Billy Napier over a Shane Beamer just because he's been a head coach. I don't care. I do not care.
Right.
You know what I mean? You roll the dice. You roll the dice with the guy you think's the best fit for the job. Heck, everybody, and again, I hate to always compare, but you just kind of have to. Everybody thought Dabo was a terrible hire. I mean, I really remember that when he got the job, people were saying this is a mistake, it's a bad hire, awful. And look what happened. And I'm not saying that's going to happen if you hire Shane Beamer, but it might. You never know. You just don't know. And so, I mean, I kind of agree with you. Like, if you genuinely interview the two candidates in Napier and Beamer, and they are equal on all fronts to you, give me the guy that's been a Gamecock. You know what I mean? Like, that understands the culture. Like I said, been in the building. So, again, I'm not behind closed doors. I'm not the ones doing the interviews. And, again, I think the vetting process, like I've said before, is extremely important in all this. It really is. Because you got to make sure you find the right culture fit that understands the fan base, that understands how good of a job this is, how good of an opportunity it is, and somebody that wants to embrace that challenge, because that's what scares me about a guy like Hugh Freeze. And again, if South Carolina hired Hugh Freeze, I'd be all for it. But what's to say he ain't going to leave in 3 years for a Tennessee or an Auburn? You know what I mean? What's to say he's not going to screw South Carolina like he screwed Ole Miss? There's pros and cons to every guy. There's pros and cons to there's not one hire out there you can convince me is a surefire slam dunk home run. Not a single one. So,
since that guy's not out there, might as well get the guy that cut his teeth here. That's all I'm saying. And I'll end on this. I know that you're not picky about this coaching search, but I sure as hell hope Ray Tanner is.
Right. Well, I mean, I say that I'm saying that in the extent of, I think it's going to be one of the 3 to 4 most circulated names we've heard. Now, I don't want Jeff Monken. I mean, but I feel like there's names being thrown out that are they're not, I don't think they're realistic. Maybe they are. I don't think so. But so, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, whether it's Freeze, Napier, or Beamer, you're splitting hairs with me. Like, I'm going to get on, there's not a coaching hire we can make where I'm going to go on and bash. Like, I'm going to get behind the guy, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, let's get behind him. Let's support. Let's see what happens. So. But obviously, if you go hire Jeff Monken or something, obviously, we're going to have some issues. I mean, there's no doubt. So there's going to be people that complain about it no matter what. You just kind of, like I said, this is the perfect time to roll the dice, like I said. So we'll hopefully, and I know he does. Tanner's got guys surrounding him that are going to help him make this decision. It's not going to be all on him. I know Caslen is going to have a big part in it. So we'll see. It sounds like they're going to have an announcement by December 10th, though. So if you want a timeline, that's when you can expect it. So about 2 weeks, really. About 2 weeks.
All right, I'm going to mark my calendars. I'm going to say, go Cox. Have a great day. Appreciate the call.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it, Phil. Thanks so much, brother. Bye. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff here on a Monday for sure. Guys, if you're calling in and I missed it, please call back in again. Let me go through some of these questions here. My guy, Eric, got to show some love for the secondary stepping up. Show my boy love some number 4. Jalen Dickerson played well. Cam Smith, what a game for him. And a guy that it feels like every play he makes is redemption. You know what I mean? Johnny Dixon played well. I thought Jamie played well. Really, just the defense as a whole, man. That second half, pitching a shutout in the second half. You can't ask for more than that. So really great stuff from the defense. Got to show them some love. It's kind of gotten lost in the shuffle in regards because all the Doty talk. So,
hey.
Yo, what's up, man?
To accept,
oh, whoops.
1. To send a voicemail, press.
Yo, what's going on, man? How are you?
Good, Chris. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. I appreciate it.
How about that true freshman, Doty?
Yeah, I mean, great. I think I got everybody buzzing, that's for sure.
A hell of a true freshman to have a hell of a game, right?
Yeah, no, it was great, man. I was glad to see Luke finally get a shot, finally get in. It's about time. So, I mean, there's been a lot of opportunities over the last few games, and, I'm glad that I don't know if it was Muschamp. I don't know if it was Bobo's stubbornness. I have no idea, but I'm glad to at least see him be in there longer than 2 snaps. So, I thought it was great, man. Great to get him on the field. So.
Oh, yeah. And I've seen a lot of people on social media about fire Bobo. But, I mean, credit to Bobo. We gave up 17 points in the first half, and our defense was spectacular.
Yeah. Now, my biggest credit to Bobo is he fired up the team and he got them ready to play. And especially at halftime, it's a group of guys that just could have quit, and they came out in that second half and fought. And I was really impressed with that. That was my biggest takeaway from what Bobo did and this team is that I was really critical of the culture and the guys in the building and all the shitstorm on social media last week. And I really thought it was setting up for South going to come out there and get their doors blown off. I mean, frankly, I didn't really trust the culture that it was going to be one of resilience, and I thought they showed that. So I thought that was great to see. At least those guys that are strapping it up the last 2 weeks are going to go out there and fight and scratch and claw and give you all they got. So that was great to see. And I like I said, I credit Bobo for that for sure for getting those guys ready to play. So
yeah. Oh, yeah. And
cannot hear a word he's saying.
To get Kevin Harris. We got to get him involved. And Kevin Harris.
All right. If you just called, call back in. We could not hear a word you were saying. So if you just called, call back in. we could not hear you. That's why I hung up. I apologize. We could not hear you. Let's see. Fan base will be divided no matter who it is. Yeah, for sure. Christopher Lane, being respectful to all parties. I really like Luke Doty. How does everyone feel about his performance Saturday night? Lots of growing to do, but good time now to allow for that. All right, let's jump back to the phone lines here. Hey, man, how's it going?
What's going on, Chris?
Not much. How are you?
Oh, hanging in there. Feel a lot better after, even though it was lost, feels a lot better.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I don't know if it's I know. Go ahead.
I was going to ask you, I talked to you last Thursday, I think it was. We talked about how the team just lacked a spark and just did not seem motivated.
Right.
Is it really the coaching staff that motivates team, or is it more so just leadership quality from a quarterback? Because I noticed Saturday night, the first 2 quarters with Colin Hill out there, it seemed like the same old story. The whole team just as a whole did not seem motivated. And then when they put Doty in, the offense came to life. But not only did the offense come to life, but it seemed like the defense had a lot more fire also.
I definitely think that a quarterback change like that has the potential to inject a new spark and a new energy in a team. Yeah, I think it shouldn't be, again, I don't want to over exaggerate the importance and like that one thing is going to make the entire team that much better, but I also don't want to undersell it. You know what I mean? Like, I think that, because again, I was close enough Saturday night. It was really interesting. I got to see body language, the guys on the sidelines. And I saw some defensive guys when Colin Hill got sacked a few times. You see the shoulders shrugging, the eye rolls, the dejection, whatever. And, so it takes a toll on the whole team. You have 68 yards of total offense. I mean, how fired up are you going to be? So, I know we talked about this last week too, and I don't know the last few games I would completely attribute to, like, for example, Ole Miss or LSU. Like, we didn't come out fired up to play. I thought there were definitely times where we got down and lost that fire and lost that spark, and it looked like we didn't really want to be there. But hey, you got to attribute it to coaching a little bit at least, because that's the leader of your football team. I think it's just a culmination of a bunch of things. You change you change the lead voice in the building, you change the quarterback, and look what you get. You know what I mean? But the biggest thing is you change something. You just had to change something. You know what I mean? Like, you can't keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. And again, I relate it back to when Steven Garcia was here. And I've talked to guys that play with Garcia, and whether they were offensive guys, defensive guys, and they say, like, it was a spark for the football team. Like, we all rallied around this guy. And again, you don't want to over exaggerate it, but like, the quarterback's the leader of the football team. Hey, look at Connor Shaw's press conference. He got the entire Gamecock Nation fired up. Like, that's how big of an impact the quarterback has. Right. So, putting a guy like Luke Doty in there and just gets you excited, like, gives you a spark. You start seeing him make plays, and it feeds off everybody. It's like in baseball when you start getting hits, you say it's contagious. Hitting is contagious, winning is contagious, excitement's contagious, and that applies to all sports. I don't doubt it at all that changed to Luke Doty. It definitely sparked the team. Being as close as I was seeing the guys, like, there was a different sense of energy and enthusiasm and excitement when Luke Doty came in the game. So, and that's not necessarily a knock on Colin Hill, but man, Luke just does things that Colin Hill nor Ryan Hilinski can do. And that's just a fact. So, it's right. Like I said, it seems crazy changing one guy can change that much, but when it's the quarterback, man, that's a big thing to change. So, again, I think it's no doubt. We all know that number 4 should be taking every snap the rest of the season. I don't care about whatever Bobo's relationship with Hill or how old Hill is or how much he knows the playbook. Doesn't matter. Doty should be taking every snap from here on out. So
it seems very similar to the Smelly Garcia.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's to me, it's yeah, very much so. There's just like a different spark. I'll never forget, bro, 2008 Georgia game. Steven Garcia comes in, the entire, I know the entire student section, nothing else, chanting Steven Garcia, like chanting Garcia's name. It's just like a different, bro, it's just a different energy, man. It's just a different energy. So, we'll see if that keeps rolling into Georgia. You're obviously a huge underdog, but hey, you were a huge dog last year too. You never know when these two teams play each other, but I definitely think it can have that type of impact, man. I think so, no question.
That's right. Well, I appreciate you answering my question and keep up the good work, man.
Yeah, man, I appreciate the call. Thanks so much, man. All right, good stuff. Yeah, you guys keep the calls coming here on a Monday. Keep the calls coming here on a Monday. Brent L. Brooks says, Ryan Hilinski is a great young quarterback, has a much better arm than Doty. And I know there's going to be a lot of people that are upset, and I totally get it. Like I said, I think 110% Ryan Hilinski is going to transfer, by the way. So, Brent, just to let you know, Ryan Hilinski, this is probably these are the last 2 weeks you're going to see him in a Gamecock football uniform. Dude, I like Ryan. I got nothing against Ryan. Again, I've said it since the beginning of the season. If you're going to go to a different quarterback than Colin Hill, it's got to be Luke Doty. He can do things the other two guys can't do. You can't argue to me Ryan Hilinski's more mobile than Luke. There's no chance.
John.
Yo, what's up, John?
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Good. Tell you what, I've never been more encouraged after a loss.
Yeah, no, it's crazy,
like,
right? No moral victories, but man, it was a different feeling leaving the stadium Saturday. That's for sure.
Yeah. And it's kind of like ironic when you fire your supposed defensive-minded head coach. Your defense is the best game of the season,
and your top two defensive backs don't play.
Yeah.
And your defense looks the best. I don't know, man. It's the irony is crazy. Yeah.
It's something else. Like I was listening to the game from the radio perspective, and I was just scrolling on Twitter, and it just seemed like someone put out there that when they put Doty in the game, and it's not Doty, but they put Doty in there, and someone said Hilinski for the first time apparently seemed dejected. I don't know if like from your perspective it seemed like that, but that's just the feeling like I got that Hilinski seemed dejected at some point.
No, I mean, dude, I said that on the show too. I mean, like I said, I was close enough to the field, which I mean, it was super cool, and awesome. The view I had was sick. I mean, it was awesome. But no, yeah, I was 9 rows up, man. I was close enough to the field where, yeah, you can see body language and see how Ryan put his helmet on a total of like 3 times, basically to warm up. And yeah, the body language is of a guy that, and I said this on the show, this was the first time all season. And listen, it's a business. You got to play the best guy. It is what it is. There's no guarantees when you sign that letter of intent, man. There's no guarantee saying, hey, just because you're this guy and this happened to you, you're going to be the starting quarterback. That's just not how it works. It's competition. But for the first time all season, I felt bad for Ryan Hilinski. I did, because the dejection, the body language of a guy that is just, he's done. He's finished. You know what I mean? Like it's unfortunate, like I said, because of all of the great football he played for South Carolina last year, played through a leg injury, was basically the anointed starter coming into this year. And, I don't feel bad that Luke Doty is getting the snaps over Ryan Hilinski. I feel bad for him that Colin Hill came in and stole it. I feel bad that Colin Hill came in and just bombarded him and took his job. But again, it's college football. I mean, it happens all the time to guys. And, I mean, he was definitely dejected on the sideline. How can he not be, though? You know what I mean? He's gone from being the dude to wearing a headset. I mean, really. So, and then you hear Mike Bobo after the game. They asked him about Ryan Hilinski, and he says, there was no plan to get Ryan in. We were playing with Colin and Luke, and there was no plan. And that just tells you right there. I mean, I said it immediately. I said he's transferring 100%. I've had good word from people that said he's going to announce after the season's over, he is going to transfer. And again, I wish him best of luck, because what do you want him to do? Sit on the sideline his entire career and hold a clipboard? I mean, no, he's too good of a player to do that. And again, it is what it is. It's tough. You know what I mean? It's tough, and I know it sucks, and I know a lot of fans hate to see it. A lot of fans hate to see it. But
especially with how because I felt like with Ryan last year, we struggled last year. But I thought when Ryan got in the game last year, it was just, there's more than just football with him, because it's just more than football with him, because of what has that family has gone through and how he rallied around that family last year. Yeah. Him coming in.
Yeah.
And for him to, he probably had no idea, he'll probably announce after he's leaving Carolina, which is unfortunate, but any idea of where he could possibly go, it's probably too early, but just any idea, maybe.
I think he'll probably go to an in-state school, a smaller in-state school, if I had to guess. I think him going to Coastal would be a great idea, as good as their program is doing right now. I mean, I don't know. It's tough to say, but
I was just saying, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, his family has moved here. Obviously, I don't think he'll go back out west or anything. But you never know. I mean, yeah, you never know. So again, man, it's just one of those tough realities, man. It's one of those tough, harsh realities for guys, and I know it's just calling a spade, man, and being honest. It's a tougher situation for Ryan because of his family history, because of everything that's happened to him. If that wasn't the case, if we're talking about a different guy that didn't have that kind of past, I don't think fans would be quite as upset, to be honest with you. But that is the reality. I mean, he has fought through all that adversity to get to this point. You know, it's unfortunate. It is unfortunate. You know, it's disappointing, but you know, it is what it is. It's the nature of the beast. You know what I mean? So
yeah, and I didn't like initially last week, and then I'll go. I didn't like how guys on Twitter, like the Debo Samuels and Javon Kinlaw and Brian Edwards, and look, I get they play for Will Muschamp. I totally get them being upset that Cook was fired. And then, like, since then, Debo has been only one to come back and say, hey, I'm good with the fan base now.
Right.
And have you heard anything from Kinlaw or Edwards saying we're good with the fan base now? No, Debo's the only one to say, hey, I'm good with the fan base now. And I just don't. Look, like I said, I get your head coach was fired. I get the guy you play for. But, like, what do you want this program to do? Be average again?
yeah.
I mean,
yeah, I mean, listen, there were there were a lot of emotions flying last week, and I think that you're going to see Kinlaw at some point put out an apology. I think he will, if I had to guess. Be it, you know what I mean? We'll move on. He can move on and let bygones be bygones.
Yeah, but Debo's about the only guy.
Yeah, I mean, it was obviously it was extremely disappointing to see.
I'm good.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
thanks. No, yeah, it was extremely disappointing, obviously, to see what Javon said, and emotions flying high, and he gets, we all, probably saw and heard what happened Saturday at the stadium. He gets booed when they show his picture. And I wasn't surprised. I mean, you take a dump on the South Carolina fan base. I mean, I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked. So, but it's unfortunate. I want all parties to come together, sing Kumbaya. Javon Kinlaw is a Gamecock. He was a celebrated defensive player, one of the most celebrated defensive players in recent memory. I'm definitely the most celebrated defensive lineman since J.D. Clowney. So, I mean, come together, sing Kumbaya. Let's all be grown-ass adults and get over this. You know what I mean? So, yeah, what's going on, man?
Hey, Chris. How you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good. I don't know why, but I just remembered when Luke Doty was getting recruited. I remember there was one, I don't remember what the source was, but I think it was a YouTube video. And he was on a recruiting trip with a bunch of other recruits at USC. And the golf cart broke down or something broke down and they couldn't go around the facility or campus. And Luke Doty, stood up and gathered all the recruits and took them and their families around USC on foot, showed them where everything was. And I just thought that really stood out to me because we're finally getting some guys that really love the University of South Carolina in this program.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's, that's one of the intangible leadership qualities that you heard about when they recruited him, you know what I mean? And I thought he did great in the presser Saturday night. I think it was awesome because, Muschamp had a no freshman to the media, talking to the media rule or whatever. And, I thought to get to hear from Luke Doty, and it really, obviously it really stood out to me, the comments he had about, he feels like he hasn't earned anything. It's about getting back after it and practice. And he just sounded like a veteran. He sounded wise beyond his years and definitely didn't sound like a freshman. So, I mean, that's just, that's something you look for in recruiting. And, it's great to hear. It's great to see. And, I think South Carolina is in good hands at the quarterback position, to be honest with you. So.
Yeah, absolutely. It was, I remember I looked at my Twitter and I saw your tweet when you were like, man, when was the last time we saw a quarterback juke someone out? And I was like, it does feel good to see that again.
I mean, yeah, it just gives you, like I said, it gives you hope. I mean, it gives you hope you can make plays. I mean, it's just, and again, I understand why Muschamp brought Colin Hill in. I understand what he was trying to do. I totally get it. But it's just nearly impossible to win that way in college football in 2020. That's one of the reasons Will Muschamp ain't got a job anymore. You just with the Colin Hill offense, it's just so predictable. Yes, you're going to run the ball with Kevin Harris, but you get into any type of passing situation, just pin your ears back and go. I mean, he's, there's nothing he can do back there. He can't scramble. He can't make a guy miss. And so it just, God, you're just like, what are we going to do? You put a guy like Luke Doty in, all of a sudden you have a chance. You just feel like you have a chance. So, yeah, no, it was a huge momentum shift in the game. And obviously I know, all Gamecock fans in the stadium when Doty came out there, everybody kind of sat up, got on the edge of their seat. And, so obviously we need to keep seeing four. Yeah. We need to keep seeing four out there. There's no question.
Yeah, I was in the student section, and my girlfriend wanted to leave, and I was like, it was kind of the middle of the third quarter, and Doty was playing. I was like, can we at least watch this guy play? I was like, this game's actually kind of fun to watch now. And then we ended up leaving at the end of the third quarter, and I'm like, damn, I wish I would have stayed for that fourth quarter because it looked like it was about to be something there.
Yeah, like I say, he looks like a young Connor Shaw. I mean, really. And again, I hate to put that type of pressure on the kid, but he just their styles are just they're so similar. Again, it's not to say that he's going to have the type of success Shaw had because listen, Connor Shaw had a fantastic team around him too, but he's got that skill set. I mean, there's no doubt what type of skill set he has, and I know people like Ryan Helinski, and I like Ryan Helinski, but Luke Doty gives this team the best chance to win. Bottom line, period, point blank. There shouldn't be another quarterback takes a snap other than Luke. So,
yeah, absolutely. And I just can't wait to watch Carolina football next year. I know we still got 2 games left, but we got Marshawn Lloyd and Kevin Harris in the backfield. Probably moving to the modern spread offense, maybe with a guy like Shane Beamer.
Yeah.
Then we got Jalen Brooks. Xavier Legette, hopefully when he's healthy, because honestly, I love Xavier Legette.
Yeah.
I went to the Tennessee game when he started. He looked phenomenal. He was able to beat man coverage, which I can't say for a lot of other wide receivers on the team. So, yeah, Jalen Brooks, Xavier Legette, Josh Vans kind of stepping up, and Nick Muse stepped up last game. So, man, there's a lot of bright spots to look forward to. We just got to find a way to get it all together now.
Yeah, no, again, it'll be a building process for sure, especially, it's I'm a little nervous about what the wide receiver position will look like next year. But, hey, you never know, man. A new coach might develop these guys. I mean, heck, all right, what I like I said, I've said this before, I wish I could be a fly on the wall when the next head coach gets the job and when he takes a look at the roster because, I mean, literally, we were told Luke Doty needs to be moved to wide receiver and play to wide receiver, and he plays in the game. You're like, this dude's our best quarterback. What has he been doing at wide receiver for 8 weeks?
When Will Muschamp was at Alabama, when he recruited Derrick Henry and wanted Derrick Henry to play linebacker, if that tells you enough about Muschamp.
Yeah, I think I definitely think there's been some roster mismanagement. So maybe the next head coach can come in, develop some of these young wide receivers. We'll see. But, yeah, man, I'm excited. I mean, I'm excited. I think the next head coach has definitely got some talent to work with. And listen, it's going to be a building process. They're not going to win 10 games the first year or anything crazy. But, the cupboard's not empty. There's talent on this football team. So,
yeah, absolutely. I feel like this is great for Shane. Like you said, it's Shane Beamer's dream job. You're getting to school just kind of like Virginia Tech, where it's kind of known but not usually a big school, and come in brand new facilities right in the center of all the great recruiting grounds. And I mean, if you can take this thing to the top, I mean, you will be a legend.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. No, agree 100%. So we'll see who that guy is, man. I think it probably will either be Napier or Beamer, but these next few weeks will be very interesting, to say the least. So,
yeah, I'm a big Beamer fan. I just can't get behind Napier. I just don't like the whole narrative where he got fired by Dabo. I know it was a long time.
Yeah, that would be tough to live with from Clemson fans. That'd be very tough to live with.
Especially if they keep whooping our tails every year,
right?
When he's the coach, I don't want any Clemson blood.
Yeah, no, trust me, I totally get it. I totally get it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
all right, Chris, it was nice talking to you.
Yeah, man, appreciate the call, man. Appreciate it. All right, good stuff. Yeah, if you guys want to call in, 843-790-3377, 843-790-3377. Guys. Let's see. Rodney Krill-Helinski has the best arm in the quarterback room. Don't get me wrong. I'm 100% behind Doty, and I think he'll be a great quarterback for us, but I do think Ryan's getting shafted. Kid stepped in and played an entire season as a true freshman, played injured the biggest part of the season. He put us in the position to get the W versus Georgia. I would have rather seen him struggle some with the playbook than ever see Hill. And again, I think that is the biggest issue Gamecock fans have. It's not that Luke Doty is going to become the starter. It's that Colin Hill was the starter over Ryan Helinski. So, I get it. I do get it. I understand the frustration. Eric Fryer, don't you have to at least call Stoops and Meyer, make them say no? Yeah, I think 100%. You give them a blank check and say, hey, if it's yours if you want it, write down a number. I think most likely they will say no, but you got to make them say no. I agree. Jim Widener, hearing rumors about Jeff Monken, I wouldn't believe it. I wouldn't believe that. So, from what I've heard, I didn't even hear Jeff Monken's name being thrown around. So, we'll see. We'll see. No, no. Jeff Monken would be that That is a hire that would piss me off. Okay, if you want to piss me off, hire Jeff Monken. That is a hire that would piss me off. So. Let's see. Jim Weiner, everybody on the Big Spurs side is panicking about it because of something they heard from an insider. Well, I can tell you, like I said, I talked to a guy, a former player that was on the Letterman call on Saturday with Ray Tanner, and he did not mention Monken. He mentioned Napier, Beamer, Deuce Staley, and Chris Rumpf were the 4 guys he mentioned. Did not mention Monken at all. So, and he feels like right now it's either going to be Napier or Beamer. He feels like that's the leaders in the clubhouse. So, I don't think it's going to be Monken. I agree with you guys. I would hate that hire. I would not be a fan of that. So, RJ Kelly, these coaches, bro, they shafted the whole team holding out on Doty. That spark was something serious. I got goosebumps thinking about it. This about to be another Shaw. Well, you change coaches and things change. What do you know? So,
Adam.
Yo, Adam, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, man? How are
Not
you?
much. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. I was listening to your show earlier, and I was talking to one of my friends about Helinski and stuff. What do you think about Helinski transferring to Mississippi State, going to play for Leach, with his brother playing for him and everything?
Yeah.
That's like a detrimental thing, or?
Detrimental for Helinski or for us?
Yeah, well, for Helinski, his brother played under Leach at Washington State, and you think that would be too much for like the family to deal with?
I don't know. I mean, they've already dealt with a lot, bro. So I don't know how much more. You know what I mean? They could. You know what I'm saying? How much? I don't know how much tougher it could really get. I guess everything's on the table for Ryan right now. And like I said, it's unfortunate, man. I understand. I truly do understand fans being, irritated with it, a little bit upset at it about how things were handled with Ryan. And, it's just unfortunate. It's crazy how much can change in a year. I mean, the guy goes from being, again, like the man, you're thinking to yourself, this is going to be our guy the next 3 to 4 years, to he can't even sniff the field. Can't even get a snap. Has he? What has he thrown, like 3 passes all season? So, again, I'm not mad that Luke Doty is the starter, but I understand the frustration of Colin Hill getting the reps over Ryan. I totally understand it. So, it just is what it is. What are you going to do? It is what it is. I think all options are on the table, and I've definitely heard Mississippi State before from people, and I wonder what the transfer rules will be like this year as far as would he have to sit out or would he be immediately eligible? I think that'll probably play a lot in it as well. But it's just crazy, man. And obviously I know we'll all be wishing Ryan the best no matter where he goes. And again, we're all assuming he could not transfer, but I think at this point it's kind of a given. So
yeah, if he doesn't transfer, I think it's pretty crazy.
I think it's pretty shocking. Yeah, I think it's shocking if he doesn't. Yeah.
I wasn't really, gunning for Helinski. I went to high school with Colin Hill, so
okay, yeah.
I'd been seeing him play. Me and him played Little League football together for a little while.
Nice,
so
nice.
I'd known about Colin for a long time. So when he came in, I didn't think he was bad. Like I said, I got to see him play a lot and everything. So it's kind of unfortunate how this season turned out for him.
Right.
I guess in his defense, he really didn't have a lot of weapons. It's hard to, only to Shi Smith and that's it.
Well, and that's the thing that I think that's the thing I think people don't want to acknowledge. And listen, I would have been down with Ryan getting more opportunities, but to me, Colin and Ryan are about damn near the same player. They have the same skill set. They do the same things. That's why my whole thing was like, if you're gonna change quarterbacks, you don't put Ryan and you put Luke in. He offers something neither guy does, and I think that's why Ryan will transfer, because the future of this offense is going to be spread mobile quarterback. I think that's almost no matter who you hire. So who best fits that mold? It don't make sense to run an RPO with a guy that can't run. That makes no sense. So and I saw us do that in the first half, and it pissed me off so much. The game Saturday night, Colin Hill on a keeper. I'm like, if you want to run that offense, put Luke Doty in. And that's what confused me honestly last year with Ryan Helinski. and he was playing on a bum knee. I'm like, bro, you have a guy in Dak Joyner that can literally run this offense. Like, why not? So,
which is crazy too. I mean, Joyner was a high recruit too, and I mean, I don't think he was the most accurate passer, but I mean, he could have ran the RPO game pretty well.
Yeah, I think so.
Ryan in with a bum knee, and
yeah, like I said, man, I think there's been a lot of roster mismanagement the last couple of years. So I just put it that way. So I think there's been a lot of roster mismanagement. I mean, I don't know. Like you said, it's hard to believe a guy who's a 4-star quarterback has to get moved to wide receiver. You know what I mean? So that's
insane.
Two of them.
I think
Doty's
the answer right now.
Yeah, no, I agree. Again, I don't think anybody else other than Luke. If you want to throw Ryan in there for good faith, whatever. I mean, but Luke should be the starter, no question. No, he gives you the best. He gives you the best chance in these last 2 games to win and even compete. So.
Yeah, I mean, if they're not catching the ball when Colin's throwing it, I don't understand why they would catch it when Ryan's throwing the ball. So at least Doty can escape the pressure and make something out of nothing. So.
Right.
But yeah, I just wanted to call and see what you thought about that.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, man. Thanks for answering. I'm about to go into the gym, so I'll be listening to your show tomorrow, man.
Nice, man. Hey, I appreciate it, man. Thanks so much.
Yeah, man. Have a good one.
Thanks. You too. Yeah, good stuff, guys. 843-790-3377. Let's see. Joshua Collins says, yeah, some people are actually smart and put education for sports, so transferring isn't an option. He couldn't go get a degree somewhere else. I mean, they still have school at every other school he could go to. So, Michael Sawyer, Ryan won't transfer. He and his family are super happy in Columbia. Have you seen their lake house? I'd never leave. I don't know. I mean, maybe he won't. I mean, heck, I don't know. I'm just guessing. I'm just assuming. But I mean, I think Luke, I would assume Ryan Helinski wants to play. I don't think he wants to ride the bench for 3 more years. You know what I mean? So I could be wrong, but let's see. Go back in these questions. Again, 843-790-3377. Guys, quick reminder, if you've not done so, the podcast dropped this morning. If you haven't tuned in, great stuff. Again, talking Mizzou, talking Javon Kinlaw's tweet and the shitstorm last Friday, talking the coaching rumors, also Vic Hampton conversation about everything going on. Really, really good stuff. Let's see. Scott Vaughn, still no answer on why not Shaw. Please explain. Why not Shaw what? I think I might have missed your question. I apologize. Yeah, I know Eric Sullivan, Gamecock legend in the building in the chat right now. Yeah, Deuce Staley does not have a degree. That is something that I thought was interesting. Deuce was mentioned. I thought he couldn't get the job, which can we all acknowledge how stupid that rule is that you have to have a degree to be the head football coach? Like why does that matter? Like, I don't understand why that matters. Connor Shaw for head coach, he says. I mean, just being realistic, man. Like, the guy's never even hardly been a position coach, much less a head coach. So keep Connor Shaw on staff, but, maybe down the road, maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 years down the road, maybe that's a possibility. So Trey Atkins. Yeah, what a night from Trey Atkins. Everybody around me was asking, like, who in the world is Trey Atkins? It's crazy, though. That wide receiver room. Whew. Yep. You think probably Shy is probably going to be out for the Georgia game, which sucks. Let's see. RJ Kelly, I'm going to throw a name out there. What about Steve Tannehill, former Gamecocks great quarterback? I think Steve is happy being the lead man of Tannehill's group therapy. I don't think he wants to be the head football coach. Jill Petty White, why wasn't that Shy hit? Why wasn't that Shy hit reviewed for targeting? I don't know. That was a shot, though. That guy, Shy, did not know where he was coming off the field. I can tell you that much. Let's see. Caleb Warren, do you think Shi Smith comes back next year since this year doesn't count towards eligibility? No. He's already accepted an invite to the Senior Bowl. He's not coming back. So, I mean, listen, Shi's had a good year. I think you roll the dice and you bank on that good year and try to get picked up or drafted or whatever it may be. Andrew Bowers, Ryan could beat out Luke in the offseason too. I mean, nobody knows what will happen. I mean, he certainly could. I don't see it, but it's a possibility. I just think with the offense you're going to run, you need a guy with the skill set of Luke Doty. You just do. So, Tristan Dixon, Shaw as head coach would be like making the best fry cook that ever worked for McDonald's as CEO. Let Shaw get some experience coaching and work his way out to be in that position. Yeah, good way to put it.
To accept.
Yo, Josh, what's up, man?
Not much, man. How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Appreciate you calling in.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. You know, I see a lot about Hugh Freeze. That's an exciting thing. The reason I'm big about Freeze is that he's a proven winner, and I mean, I don't think he's going to leave Liberty. I really don't. I think I like what I hear from him when he talks because I think that he is very grateful. I think he's learned his lessons. So when he does go somewhere, I really don't think he's going to make the same mistakes as before. But a lot of people are crying Beamer, and I don't like Beamer because I don't think he's done anything. I don't think he's proven anything.
I mean, that's fair. That, like I said, every guy you could hire has pros and cons. And that's his con, right? That's his con. That's his downside. So but there's also not a guy you can name that doesn't have a con. So every guy, they're all going to be a risk. Every one of them. Napier's a risk too. Chadwell's a risk. Freeze would be a risk. So, but I mean, listen, I totally get it. Like, I'm not going to tell people that, oh, you're dumb for feeling that way or you shouldn't feel. It's totally fair. I mean, Shane Beamer could get here, not know how to handle an SEC program and fall flat on his face. I mean, he could. It's a possibility. But he could also not do it. So, I mean, you just don't know. I mean, that's the crazy part, man. Is like I said, there's not a Spurrier where it's a surefire thing and like no brainer. You got to hire this guy. I mean, I think to some degree, man, you're just going to be taking a risk no matter who you hire. So,
yeah, unless you got some kind of wild card crazy like Urban Meyer or something.
Right.
Know that's probably.
But yeah, that's what I was saying. Within being realistic, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, Napier. Hey, I mean, I don't know. I like his energy. I like his track record, and I mean, I don't know. You know, when talked to, what do you think? Do you think Venables is actually? Do you think he would even consider the job?
See, here's the funny thing, man. I wouldn't want Venables. You just fired a defensive-minded head coach. I don't want another one. And I understand he's one of the most sought-after assistants in the entire country and all that good stuff. But I would be so opposed to that, man. I'm so over the defensive-minded head coaches, and I don't. I mean,
what just happened to us last weekend? We just went and held Missouri to like 17 points, and
right.
I mean, I was kind of shocked actually. I mean, I've watched Missouri all year, and I mean, so my question is, getting Muschamp out of the picture, did we improve defensively last weekend?
I don't know. And I said on the podcast too that that came out today. I mean, I didn't take a lot of jabs at Muschamp or any of the guys that opted out or I mean, you certainly can and make the jokes because I think they're funny. I think it's ironic. You fire your defensive minded head coach and hell, that's the best your defense has looked in over a month. So, I mean, what was it? You know what I mean? Was it, was Muschamp to blame? I know we all kind of threw T-Rob under the bus and, whatever, but I mean, God, was it Muschamp the whole time? Heck, I don't know, man. That was baffling. That was mind blowing because the defense, again, you pitch a shutout in the second half. The best you look in over a month. I mean, I don't know, bro. Tough to say.
I've always said, Chris, it. This has been my thing with Muschamp. I think it was, I don't think Muschamp made the transition when college football did. When Clemson hired Dabo and then the offense and everything shifted to these high-powered offenses, Muschamp was good back when college football was defensive-minded, but when the transition was made, I don't think he ever made it. I think he's still trying to play early 2000 style football.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's why he's not. That's why he doesn't have a job anymore. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, and it's like you said, he's going to land on his feet somewhere, but I really question whether he will be successful where he goes.
Mhm.
I think it's going to, if he does, like, say he goes to Tennessee or Alabama or somewhere, I really don't. I'm not confident that without him taking some serious guidance from someone, I just don't think he's going to keep going with his same strategy and be successful. I really,
Yeah.
honestly don't.
I just, because you'd think, he's just going to be a DC somewhere and, his defenses will be really good. But I mean, heck, the defense is what the problem's been all seasons. That was the most baffling part is how bad, how bad the defense was this year. So, like he'll land on his feet. Like I said, I don't know where the hell he's going to go, but Muschamp's a football guy, and the football, the coaching circles, that fraternity, it's really close. It's a really tight knit group, and somebody will look out for him. So, and nothing else. So I don't
Absolutely,
know.
absolutely, 100%. And I don't know. I'm to the point. I want to get a decent coach in there, and I want to. I don't know. I think we got to go after some receivers at this point because
Yeah.
that's I think it's a great opportunity for some freshmen to get in there and make a impact early, and everything else I think is pretty well set up. I mean, defensively, we've got a defense. I mean, it is what it is. I don't look for a coach to come in there and win the SEC. I'm not saying that, but I think within 3 or 4 years, we should be competing for something there. And I just had one of my buddies. He was telling me the other day, he was like, "You guys shouldn't have fired Muschamp." I said, "Well, it's easy to sit there and say that. He's a Florida fan."
Right.
I was like, when you got Dan Mullen there and you guys are doing what you're doing, and that's great. And it's easy to. Muschamp wasn't going anywhere. We knew that, and I mean, at this point, I'm scared and I'm excited for the hire because it's this committee that Tanner's brought in. Do you know any more about it than basically what he's? I mean, he has, from what I understand, it's an advising committee,
Right. Right.
But
yeah, it's helped in some coaching searches.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I was just curious. From what I understand, the committee's allowed to do a little more communicating than they're allowed to do.
Right. No, yeah, I don't know who we're going to hire. I will say this though, because I'm seeing it on social media. We're not going to hire Jeff Monken. So if you think we're going to hire Jeff Monken, if you're a person out there and you need new insiders, if they're telling you we're going to hire Jeff Monken, I'm going to tell you that right now. So I don't pretend to have the ultimate word on that authority, but we're not going to hire Jeff Monken. So just relax. Everybody, Twitter's freaking out right now.
And I'm not a Bob Stoops fan either. I don't know why everybody's like, give Bob Stoops a buck. What did Bob Stoops do? I watched him get crushed.
I said this last week too, dude. People are just throwing names around for fun. I mean, it's that when you're in the midst of a coaching search, that's that type of thing. You're going to throw all kinds of names out there, and some are realistic, some are unrealistic, some are just plain silly, to be honest. So, I think it's just part of the conversation. Yeah, it is. That's exactly what it comes down to. So,
absolutely. All right, Chris. Well, I'm just glad to thank you for letting me call, man.
Yeah, man. No, appreciate the call, man. Anytime.
All right, man. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks, brother.
Bye.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. 843-790-3377. That'll probably be the last call because we've only got a minute and a half left. Really good show today. Really good show. Appreciate you guys all calling in, obviously all being interactive. Let me try to take a couple of these questions. Doug Henry, I don't understand why we don't put Fenwick in a wide receiver spot. How the hell was Doty on the bench? Yeah, you got to do anything and everything to get creative on offense. I think Fenwick is a guy that can help you out, whether it's receiver, running back, whatever. Somebody said, Todd Faulkner, you can't take anything away from the game other than they still beat you with less than 50 players, and Eric Sullivan says we only had 52. Exactly. I mean, both teams were dealing with it, man. I mean, you can say whatever, but Savannah Webster, Luke indeed, yes. Eric Fry, the SEC hardly ever calls holding, and to see a holding call on 4 consecutive drives, yeah. SEC refs were on point last night, or Saturday night, I should say. Excuse me. Yeah, so, I mean, it's, not surprised. So, again, guys, we're not going to hire Jeff Monken. Just get that out of your head. We'll be fine. So, again, guys, we got about 15 seconds. Appreciate you all tuning in, guys. Thank you so much. Again, if you have not done so, check out the podcast drop this morning, episode 323, Mizzou recap. We talk Twitter madness. We talk coaching rumors. Vic Hampton also joined me. Fantastic show, guys. Again, thank you so much. Everybody that said what's up, by the way, if you didn't hear on the podcast, everybody that said what's up, interacted, talk Gamecocks at the game Saturday, at the tailgate, all that good stuff. Thank you guys so much. Truly do appreciate you guys. You guys are what make this thing go. You guys are the engine for the Spurs Up Show, guys. So, again, thank you so much for everything. Hey, it's Georgia week. To hell with Georgia. To hell with Georgia. I'll leave you with that, guys. We'll talk again tomorrow, noon to 1. Thanks so much.